Hello and welcome to the YBMB live show Wednesday. So we talk about mindset, as you know, those of you who've been following, and quite a lot of you are following now. So thank you for that. We talk Mondays about the body and things to do with transforming the body. Wednesday we talk about upgrading mindset, and Friday we talk about business. And it's all the content and the thoughts are covered in the program Your Body Means Business, which, as you probably know, is a program that I pulled together in 2018, and we've really been working a lot on it in the last year during the pandemic. We've had some amazing results come through it. A lot of midlife professionals have changed their body, their mindset, and their business, as it says on the tin. And people are always really amazed at the results that they get. You know, things like a top lawyer in the city losing 17 kg. A trader, Jason, who I had on just a while back, getting first six-pack ever, and seeing his top and bottom line sort of, go through the roof compared to where it had been. A 67-year-old guy getting his first six-pack and coming out of retirement and starting a new business in eco-friendly buildings, residential buildings. So many, many stories like that. And everybody's amazed when they come out of it. And I'm really not. I'm not amazed at all. It's just lovely for me to be able to see that the things that work for me, I know they work for other people, and it's great to see them come, into reality. So I really enjoy doing that work. And I like doing this live show because thoughts occur, things come up during the coaching calls of Your Body Means Business, because we run coaching calls as well as, all the workouts and everything. And things come up, and it's useful for me to have this outlet on the live show to share some of that with you. So one of the things that I wanted to talk about is the emotional gym. And also, what do I mean by that? So today's mindset. A lot of the photos and content on social media for YBMB and for me personally is all to do with physical manifestation of the work we do. So, you see muscles and six packs and workouts in the gym and groups doing workouts and all of that. So moving your body, anyone who follows Tony Robbins knows, is one of the best ways to actually get your mind where you need it to be, because by just basically moving, everything inside you moves around, and it just makes you feel better. So obviously that is critically important. And I always say that the first fundamental of changing everything in your life is to get your body under control. And that doesn't mean to say necessarily how it looks, although obviously that's a nice byproduct, but it does mean how it feels. And if you move your body, even just by starting with walking, you start to notice the mental changes as well. But it is only one part of the picture. And you can still find people that go to the gym religiously, do their steps, watch their nutrition, and they still don't feel how they want to feel mentally. And they start to sort of see that, they're not achieving maybe what they want in their job or their career or whatever, and they don't know why it is. It comes to mindset, and this is really the subject I wanted to cover when I call it the emotional gym. I think that we should be visiting our emotional gym every day too. And what that means is that there are a series of mental exercises, just as there are physical exercises that are available to us, which if we do them on a regular basis, will work our brain and build our brain just as you would any other muscle in your body. And this emotional gym is somewhere that you can go anytime, day or night. And it gives you results when you do it consistently. And to do it consistently, like going to the normal gym, you're best off scheduling it and doing it at a set time in the day as part of your daily routine. So this emotional gym is obviously inside yourself, it's inside your head. And I'll explain to you what I mean by it precisely. We talk a lot about morning routines on the program, and a lot of that is about sort of getting up at the same time after having a good amount of sleep, weighing ourselves, consuming water, and then we talk about the things to do prior to physical exercise. So if any of you have read this book called Miracle Morning, some of this will sound familiar. If you haven't read the book Miracle Morning, I would really strongly recommend it. It's a great book. A guy talks about how he changed his mornings, and basically everything else in his life transformed. And so we take a lot of lessons from that. And we have this concept on the program that we call SAVERS, and it stands for a number of things. The first S is silence, and that refers to meditation. And I am a big advocate of meditation. Some people say to me, they're not sure how to do it right, what's the best way to do it. And meditation can take many forms, but essentially what you're doing is you're sitting there quietly, and you're focusing on your breath. And as I think I said before, that your mind is a bit like a puppy. And if you're sort of focusing on your breath and you've got your eyes closed and your sort of mind runs away, you suddenly realize, I've been thinking about something else. You pull your mind back and you refocus on your breath. And you just do that for about 10, 15 minutes. And that's enough to really start the day effectively. And it's a great start to this emotional gym that I describe it as, because it's almost like showering your brain in the same way that you shower your body. Your brain sort of calms down. And also during meditation, what I find is amazing thoughts come. Things just pop in, answers to questions that you might have had, ideas, they just pop out of nowhere. And it's because you give your brain time, I think, to really be present and really focus. So that's the first thing, is silence. The next thing is thinking about the person that you want to be. And this is nothing to do at this point with goals and things you want to have and things you want to do, but it's more about who you want to be. And that can be a series of affirmations where you just sort of say what you are. You almost confirm that you are these things, even if you're still working towards them. So affirmations, they can be said, out loud, or they can be written down, one or the other. I always advocate, as part of the routine in this emotional gym, that you write them down. And so there will be things like, I am a great mum. I am, effective in my role. I am a good businesswoman. I am fit and healthy and strong. I am, a good daughter. Anything that you want to be, you write it down as you are. You reinforce that this identity, is real. And as you write this, it sort of reminds you what it is that is important in your life. So that's A for affirmations. And normally we suggest spending 5-10 minutes doing that. The next thing in the SAVERS, the V, is the visualization. That is then thinking about, okay, so, this person that I want to be, and maybe, I'm already it, but there's just a few areas that I want to change, or maybe it's radically different, visualizing a time in the future. And for you, it could be next year, it could be 5 years' time, it could be 10 years, whatever your mind takes you to naturally. A time in the future when you are living the life as this person that you're trying to become. And you basically create a scenario. You write down a scenario, I'm waking up, you describe where you're waking up. It might be, a particular place. Maybe you can see the sea, the city, or whatever it is. You describe your morning, what happens in the day, who you see, how you feel, how you look, and you just sort of describe it, and you just write a couple of paragraphs. You visualize what your life is becoming. So that's the V. So it's just, again, reminding you, without sort of listing, I want a car, I want this, I want that. It's more just listing where you're going, what your direction is. The E in SAVERS, by the way, is exercise, but we sort of put that to one side for a moment. And then the R is reading. So taking the time then to go and read something which is going to be a really positive input into your mind. And so there's many books. Like I said, Miracle Morning is a great book to read. Atomic Habits is another one that I always recommend when you're trying to revamp your routine and to start to incorporate new things into your life, really. Atomic Habits is a great book to read. And another one that I suggest, and I've just revisited it myself just recently, is The Big Leap. That's a great book to read as well. So there's many good books to read. The Secret is always a good one. There's one called My Intention to Live, How I Intend to Live to 156. That's a really good one. But a book like that gives you some value, just 10 minutes, maybe a chapter. So you're actually bringing positive input into your brain, new ideas. So that really is your R. And then the next thing, the S, so at the end of SAVERS, is scribe. It just means journaling, writing down what your general thoughts are. And what we suggest in this part of the session is that you don't write things like, so I'm just going to plug in. You don't write all the negative things. Oh, I'm really worried about this, and this is not working, and so-and-so said this, and I didn't think that was very nice. And you don't bother with all of that negative stuff. What you do is you put down ideas. You put down areas that maybe didn't go quite as you wanted, that you want to improve in. You put your commitment to change certain things. Maybe you identify people that you want to spend more time with. I always like to think about my life in different sections. I like to think about body, emotions, relationships, time management, how I'm spending my time, not just in the day, but how I'm spending all the time in my life, really. Money, career, progression, learning, contribution, and then overall happiness, which actually comes, you can't just sort of say, I want to be happy. It comes from all these other things. And so that's it, that's the S. And if you finish that, do all of that, you can easily do it in an hour, in half an hour. But if you take an hour to do it, that's sort of quite a nice sort of luxurious time to do it. And I'm not necessarily saying you've got to get up at 4:30 to do this, or 5 o'clock. But if you do, you're more likely to get peace and quiet to do it. But if you do that on a regular basis, it is a bit like going to the emotional gym. And what I'd be advocating there is that you do it every single day. Because when you don't do this, once you get into the habit of it, people see amazing things. They start sticking to their nutrition plan better. They go to the physical gym better. They get on with everybody better. Their work is better. Now, why is that? Because they are starting the day with a really, really positive mindset. Let's look at the opposite of that. The opposite is waking up, picking up the phone, looking at, Instagram, where everybody seems to be doing brilliantly well and no one seems to have any problems, going on to BBC or going on to Sky and seeing all the issues there are in the world, all the fearful things that the media are putting out there. And then maybe going onto your emails and seeing, it's very rare that people are emailing and saying, wow, this is great and that's great. It's nearly always a problem that needs a resolution, isn't it? So that's the other alternative, which we really wouldn't advocate. So if you can get into a habit of going to this emotional gym every single day, it absolutely works. And people swear by it. They come on the program, we teach them this, and everything falls into place. And they say things like, I can't believe how easy it is to be in this new routine. Well, the reason is they're going to this emotional gym. So things that can help you do it. Well, read Atomic Habits, because that teaches you about stacking of habits one after the other. But also the sort of things that I do is I like to lay things out in a certain place. So when I get up, I know where, my Kindle is, where my meditation band is, where my ear pods are, where my nice blanket is, so where my coffee is. So I have it all sort of ready when I sort of go there to this emotional gym. So it's a bit like a ritual, and it's a bit like a place to go. And then the other thing that I wanted to show you was, I'm a stickler for notebooks. I love different types of notebooks. I like my nice pen, but this makes all of it like a bit more of a pleasure. So I'll show you here, I've got this lovely YBMB book that I had done. And in fact, we get these for everybody who's in level 3 of our program, a really lovely sort of Smizen notebook. And in it, this is the place where I put a lot of what I've just mentioned, the affirmations, the visualization. Sometimes you're rewriting the same thing. Sometimes what you realize is that you're actually making these things a reality. Yesterday, a couple of things just literally fell into place for me. It's not always like that. But I was looking for a couple of things to happen in the business, and they both did. And it's not accident, but these things happen when you keep focusing on them, you keep writing them down, and they come. I've got here written down here in a little note here, my idea of a perfect day, and I wrote this about a year ago, and I look at that every day as well. And as you keep on repeating it and keep writing it and keep revisiting it, these things start to come to reality. So I really like to have a lovely notebook. Like I say, I'm a bit of a stickler for notebooks. So I also have this one, which is once I've actually written all the things that I would like to happen, and other things, I'll come on to some things in a minute, some other sort of ideas for you. But then I like scheduling it. So I've got this other one although I don't like paper, I do love these books. So then I sort of schedule main things that are going to happen in this one. So it's another one that we sent out to another season. And then I like one which is same colour as the FT, which is about money and career. I think it's got Wonder Woman on it, but that's a lovely one as well. Again, you know, Smyton does pretty well out of YBMB because we buy these for people that join the programme. But other things, I've always got nice books for different years. So, you know, this one represents 2018 to me. And in here, you know, it was packed full of writing, and a lot of this stuff, you know, came to fruition. But I was going to go through some of the different, if I can quickly find them, some of the headings in here. And, you know, there's a lot of journaling that goes on. And it says things like, you know, what I'm visualizing for the day, affirmations, as I've just mentioned, you know, things that I would love to commit to. So things that I'd like to commit to improving. It's sort of rating me in terms of, you know, a lot of it is repetitive, I have to say. There's lots of mentions about, you know, my desire for good things to happen to other people that I love. And you have things in there as well, like, you know, role models. Who are your role models? So it's interesting to think about people that you admire, because the next question is, well, why do I admire them? And when you ask that question, you start to answer, well, because they do this or they do that. And then that gives you some good criteria to aim for when you're doing your own visualization. And then, you know, your accomplishments. It's good to just dwell for a minute on your own accomplishments, because it's so easy to sort of go, yeah, I know I've done that now, but, you know, what about the next thing? But it's great to dwell on accomplishments and then say, well, you know, how did I manage to achieve that? What was it that I did? And could I repeat that again? But also not just accomplishments, but things, like I said, for improvement. Maybe things that didn't go quite as well. Why didn't they? What else could I do to actually achieve that? So yeah, there's so much writing in there. It's really about getting everything that's in here and giving it some sort of structure and getting it on the page. And gradually what you find is you become more and more proficient in this emotional gym. But just like the ordinary gym, if you stop going for a bit, you know, your results go backwards. You imagine you stop going to the normal gym, you know, your muscle tone drops a bit, maybe put a bit of body fat on, you just don't feel so great, you feel a bit lethargic. And exactly the same, I would say, with the emotional gym. It's very easy to do. You know, you don't have to have expensive notebooks, by the way. You can just do this, you know, even making, well, I wouldn't say make notes on your phone, by the way. I would definitely say write it down. But your simple pen and paper, and it's a marvelous thing to do. It will really set you up, I promise you, for achieving whatever it is that you want to achieve in your life. It's something that we really advocate on the YBMB program. We hold people accountable on it as well. So we get people not just to report on what they've been doing physically in terms of their nutrition and their workouts. And you know that we do live workouts with people twice a day, every day, give them opportunities to do that, by the way, not force them to do them. But also we hold them accountable for the emotional gym. We ask them, you know, did they do their savers this morning? Visualization. We do the coaching calls once a week. We get them to sort of talk about their business plan, what their growth goals are, you know, what's different about them, what their innovation is, what their marketing plan is. And, you know, we gradually coach on a one-to-many basis, where you've seen, I think, some of the content that I've put up, which shows me sort of mentoring groups of maybe 5 or 6, but also as we progress through the program, I do one-to-one as well. I've literally just come off of a 2-hour one-to-one mentoring call with a lovely lady in the Netherlands. And so by doing all of these things, the physical gym, the emotional gym, and the business plan, you know, you can achieve amazing, great things in your life. So I think that's all I wanted to cover for this live. It's only a 20-minute one. I hope that was of some use. And if you've got questions about it, or if you would like to join us on YBMB, this amazing program, it really is. I mean, someone said to me last night, I was doing a coaching call on business, and someone said to me that in sales, they don't want to be too pushy. And what would my suggestion be? And what I said to them is, Firstly, are you talking to the right people? And secondly, are you convinced that the product or service that you have is radically going to improve things for them? She said yes. And I said, in that case, it is your mission to convince the people that are listening to you to actually take advantage of your product or service. Because if they don't, they're going to miss out. And I would finish this call saying exactly the same to you, that if you want to really spectacularly change your body, your mindset, and consequently your business with methods that are proven, and have all of this interaction with a group that helps you accountable, a peer group, attention as part of a smaller group from me, so group coaching and also one-to-one coaching, the opportunity to join two live workouts per day from the comfort of your own home and still learn how to weight train from scratch, to come on weekly meditation and to learn a multitude of things about sort of lifestyle as well as business, mind and body, then you must join, because I know there's nothing else like it. And I know that it's getting amazing results. And we have many, many case studies, and I would love to do that for you as well. So thanks for listening. That's the end of the live today. Have a great day. The sun is shining, and I hope you're doing your 10,000 steps. I'm just about to go out and do a few more myself before joining our second live workout of the day at 1 o'clock.